Hello everyone, this is Steven from the Even Steven channel. This is part 2 of a series I'm calling Do I Still Love It? Where I'm trying to revisit some of the videos I've done before and see if I still feel the same way I felt. Now today we are taking a look at the Beretta PX4 Storm. Serial number PX4 Storm Stainless. Now, I'm actually pretty proud of the original video I done on this gun. It's about 30 minutes long. There's a lot of stuff in there. And I thought it was a pretty complete video. By the way, there's nothing really in this box. I talk about it. I bought this used, and I feel like there's stuff missing. There's back straps that are missing. The manual's missing. If there was like a cleaning rod or anything like that, or a brush, it's not there. It's really just not. It did come with 5 magazines and a magazine loader. You can see that some of these parts have kind of a purplish coloration to them, a purplish hue. Some of the metal pieces over here, you can kind of see it there. It's a little bit of a purple hue. I think that's just kind of from light bluing. I believe that's what that's from. But I have a pretty complete video on the Beretta PX4 Storm, and I give it very high praise. But a year after making that video, do I still love it? Well, let's just take a look at the features very quickly. Again, we got the magazines. This is unfortunately 10-round magazines. Standard capacity for the Beretta PX4 Storm 9mm is unloaded 17 rounds. Ooh, like that, still like that. Let's go through. Again, we have the grip here. In my initial video, I said that I didn't mind the grip texture, the lack of grip texture, this slickness of it too much. However, that being said, I ended up putting a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, trying to keep it tasteful. What I was trying to do is trying to stop the gun from rotating in my hand too much. You have good texturing here, and that's where it matters most, and that's still true. But I wanted just a little bit more, so I tried to very tastefully put some rubber grip on there. I kind of cut pieces out to size, and I kind of put them there. It looks pretty good. This gun comes with removable interchangeable back straps. Mine only comes with this size. I don't know what it is, but it fits me pretty well. So I like that. I have large size hands. Some say, "What? Oh, it fits you. What size hands do you have?" I have large size hands. The magazine release on this gun is not the original. It's not the standard one. This is the extended magazine release sold by Beretta. The way these are replaceable. What you do is there's a hole right here. You push through that, and basically the whole thing kind of just comes apart, and you can replace them with different pieces or swap them. This magazine release is swappable. I have cuts on both sides for the magazines. I don't know if I mentioned this explicitly in my video. The PX4 Storm does not take Beretta 92 magazines. Does not. It has its own magazine. It's distinct. Yeah, it's own magazines. So I never had to buy any, but I assume they're not too expensive. Going up, we have the decocker. So my gun is in the G configuration, the decocker configuration. I think whoever owned this previously did this. I believe the way it came was you would hit this. First of all, you would hit it, it would decock, and then stay down like I'm simulating with my finger. And then you have to push it up like a Beretta M9. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of a combination manual safety and decocker. I want one or the other. I don't want both. And on a combat handgun, I want a decocker. And there's the hammer. This is, of course, a hammer-fired gun. Double or single action hammer-fired gun. Short recoil using a rotating barrel action. Interesting. The sights are pretty good. Let's see. These are not night sights. They're just white contrast sights. I ended up replacing this front sight with the shortest one I could find. I was trying to bring the point of impact up a little bit, and I believe I got whatever the shortest front sight was. I actually had paid someone I paid my gunsmith to put this on. And again, whatever the shortest front sight was, I was trying to bring the point of aim up. And I didn't want to just file down on the front sight. So I actually did pay for that. I also paid for the Langdon Tactical, I think 11-pound hammer spring, which lightened the trigger pull up a little bit. We'll talk about that later. You can see some of that rotating barrel action in there. So short recoil, gun fires, slide and the barrel go back together for a short period of time. That's the short recoil. Then everything starts to unlock. Trigger guard, trigger, it's kind of cool. It's kind of rounded. Beretta likes to do that. It's alright. A single position Picatinny rail. We got like a 4-inch barrel on here. So it's kind of a Glock 17 size grip. It's a nice big grip. I do like that. And more of a Glock 19 barrel and slide. I think it's a 4-inch barrel on there. We have a slide release. Nice big slide release on this side. I think I mentioned it was a little hard to reach. It still is, but it's pretty easy to go like this. To kind of shift a little bit and reach it. We have rear serrations, front serrations. I've seen models, the Beretta PX4 Storm, that have slide serrations on both sides. I don't know what the story with that is. What is this? Warning, retract slide to see if loaded fires without magazine. Alright. Not loaded. Read manual before use. You didn't give me one, or I didn't get one. And the takedown levers. So I went to the range and I shot the PX4 Storm, having not shot it for a while. And I gotta be honest, let me just check my notes here. Let's see, check my notes here. Pleasant to shoot. Okay, yeah. The gun is still pretty pleasant to shoot. It's a 9mm full-size handgun. It's pleasant to shoot. And I noted that the double action pull seems very long. So if I was going to have this in, say, a holster like this, I don't have the point on, but this is the attachment point for my Black Hawk Omnivore holster. I actually took it off just so people could better see it on camera. But if I was going to have it in a holster, and for whatever reason I was carrying something in a holster and it came out, the first shot would be double action. That's kind of the point of double action. The double action trigger pull is a safety mechanism in itself. And I found it to be a little bit heavy. Coming out of the holster and going like this on target, and then starting to pull the trigger. I was like, oh, okay, all right. I feel like it needs a little bit of practice. That you have to be, you gotta practice with it. You gotta practice. You gotta practice with it. You have to practice with a double single action handgun. I haven't done it in a while, and it kind of threw me for a loop. So as you're drawing, you might have to pull the trigger. You know, might have to prep that trigger a little bit, and then when you get on target, in a way I wasn't expecting. I was like, whoop. Okay, here we go. Ah. So, yeah, that's it. I just wasn't really accustomed to that double action trigger pull. It's not terrible, but it is pretty long. Single action is nice and crisp, but you got to get there. Got to get there. Reliable, accurate, durable. Accurate. You know what? Let me get my test target here. Let's see. Let's see what we give the PX4 Storm. We have 7 yards. I'm a little high. I don't know if I'm overcompensating, but a little high. Pretty good though. 10 yards. Nice. Perfectly fine. 15 yards. Not the greatest 15-yard shooter for some reason. That's still pretty good. They're all pretty tight. It kind of going up and down a little bit. That's fine. 15 yards. 20 yards. How'd we do? Still, you know, combat accurate out to 20 yards with my bad eyes. And then 25 yards. Again, I have some vertical stuff going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I must have just done something weird. It looks like I hit it over here. Maybe I was having trouble with the double action trigger. Because every time I did a string of 5 at 7, 10, 15, 25 yards, the first shot would be double action because that's how I would do it coming out of a holster. So maybe either just one of my shots randomly or the double action trigger pull. I kind of threw it. But, you know, it's not bad. You know, when you consider all of the shots, that's pretty big. But if we consider just those 4, they're on target. Yeah, it's not bad. So the PX4 Storm is still a pretty accurate gun. In fact, I feel like it's more accurate than I've showed on camera previously. So do I still love the Beretta PX4 Storm. I'm going to say, I don't know if I say I love you, PX4 Storm, but I still like you. I feel like if I don't give you the love and attention and time you deserve, that when I do come back to you, that maybe your performance won't quite be there. I do still, to this day, love the stainless slide. It's not all that common. Most Beretta PX4 Storms are all black. I love the stainless. I love it. I love that. I do love that. I always love that. Oh, there it is. This piece comes up. I never noticed this. Yankee Marshall said this one time. Yankee, if you ever watch Yankee Marshall videos, which I don't really do anymore. Yankee Marshall made a note of saying that. I didn't think it was a big deal, but he didn't like it. Very quickly, let's just take a look at the rotating barrel, because that's a cool feature that everyone likes to talk about. So this is not a traditional Browning style tilting action. This is a rotating barrel design. Recoil spring, there's the camion block for the rotating barrel, and there's the rotating barrel. I believe this is a replacement recoil spring. I just decided to buy a replacement one because I wasn't sure how many rounds were through the gun, so I decided to buy a replacement recoil spring. The gun was shot today, so it's a little dirty inside. And if this was not changed to the G configuration, it's like some kind of ball bearing somewhere that would have held this in place. I don't know enough to have known how to do it myself, so I'm glad someone did it for me before I got the gun. I like the cuts here. So I still like you, Beretta PX4 Storm. I still like you. I don't know if I love you as much anymore. Passage of time. I hope I got this right. Let's see, I got the recoil spring first. Oh no, I think I forgot to put this gun together. So, keep in mind that if you have a gun and it's supposed to be a gun you're using for serious use, that you gotta practice with it once in a while. I think I forgot to take this gun apart. So yeah, I haven't used it in a while. There it is. Okay, that's it. That's it. I don't know if I showed it all on camera, but I had trouble remembering how to do it together. Now, I could send this off to someone like Langdon Tactical and have them do their whiz-bang features and upgrades to it, but I think I was going to keep the PX4 Storm the way it is. This is going to be one of several guns in the collection, one of several guns that could be used in a home defense or other serious use situations where, I have my Glock, I have my PX4 Storm, I have a couple other guns. It's one of a handful of guns that I could use in case I need to use it. And yeah, I still like the Beretta PX4 Storm. But I think if the people who are really take the time to get to know this gun and shoot a lot and get good with it, they're really good. And if you're just casually using it once in a while, I think you might have a little bit of trouble. So, do I still love it? I'm going to give it, I like it. Don't love it, I like it though. I'm going to keep it. I actually offered a couple of friends if they wanted to buy the Beretta PX4 Storm. I did a previous video about that, how I was considering selling it. And they're like, oh, your PX4 Storm? That's so cool. Oh, you want to buy it? No. So I had a bunch of friends who were like mad that I was thinking about selling my PX4 Storm because they thought it was a really cool gun. And after they wanted to own it, but they thought it was really cool. And it is. It is. It is a cool looking gun. It is an interesting gun. But I thought that was funny. Anyway, this is Steven from the Even Steven channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And I will see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.